On Married at First Sight Season 17, the couples are headed to their wedding receptions, meeting families for one-on-one, and one couple is already having their first disagreement. Okay, let's talk about Cameron. He made me bring up my red flags, and I don't have to bring these out too often. I'm not gonna go as far as saying that too far off the reservation comment was racist, but I do agree with Lauren and Orion, it was definitely ignorant. And Claire looked really embarrassed when he said it, and it gave me the ick, for sure. I guess that it could be an Aussie thing, kind of akin to an American saying the phrase Indian giver, which is a racist phrase, but you don't have to be a racist to say it, if you get what I mean. He could very well just be saying it as a phrase that exists within his culture and his vocabulary. Now, it shouldn't exist because it is very much racist, but he could be completely oblivious and ignorant to the fact that it's a racist phrase. I'm hoping that that's what's happening here. Although I really don't know because he apologized immediately as if he knew exactly what he said and why it was wrong. So that ignorance argument might not hold up. So yeah, I'm not defending him. I'm just here to offer a different perspective based on a phrase that we have here in America. I haven't heard it in a long time and I don't use it myself, but I'm sure people still do say it. It was low class and ignorant at best and racist at worst. And I hope we figure out which one it is so that I can form a better opinion on Cameron. Hey y'all, it's Nate. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. This video will contain spoilers for Married at First Sight Season 17, Episodes 3 and 4. So if you haven't seen them yet and you don't want spoilers, save this video and come back after you do. You are about to hear my thoughts on Episodes 3 and 4, but of course I want to hear yours, so feel free to leave a comment if you do want to participate in the conversation. So at first I was like, why is her family starting off this marriage by saying they're gonna roast the hell out of this man?
But you won't officially be welcome until you've survived the Kerr family roast session.
But then his own family roasted him, so I was like, oh, I guess that's commonplace for him.
Behind that tall stature and great head of hair is just a tall man with a great head of hair. And then once he starts speaking, he's just a tall man with a great head of hair and an accent.
And I think it kind of ties into his sense of humor as well, so that makes sense. And Claire is seeing the red flags as well. The moment he was like, oh, I'm a horny groom, she was like, you know what? On second thought, I think I could take this dress off myself. Like, I don't even need you to take this off anymore. Although there is definitely a part of me that's like, they just edited that way. The same way that they edited in her wedding dress being balled up in a corner. They know they were dead wrong for that. Of course, hinting at the fact that she didn't give a damn about that dress and probably doesn't give a damn about this marriage. Communication is really starting off poorly for them, and that's not good at all. She's like, oh, it's so hard to know what he's thinking. But isn't that why you just ask? You aren't a mind reader and he's not expecting you to be a mind reader, so just say, hey, what are you thinking? He also might not be able to voice how he feels about her. He said he never grew up hearing I love you, and he has a hard time saying I love you, even though he might feel it. And there is 100% going to be a disconnect there. This is going to sound corny AF, but I believe in love languages. And I think there will always be a breakdown in a relationship, whether that be platonic or romantic, if you don't figure out what that other person's love language is and find out how to show them love in the way that they are able to receive it. You have to learn to pour into your partner's love language, period. I thought he was more of an acts of service person, but then he didn't carry her bag. But she definitely likes words of affirmation, and if he's not going to be able to provide that for her, then they're going to have problems. They're going to have to be able to come together on that, so it's going to take a lot of open and honest communication up front. And it looks like they're struggling, so I don't know. He didn't understand why he should carry her bag. That didn't sit right with me. He thought it was because she was physically unable to carry it, and she's like, no, I just thought you were a gentleman. Which, yes, he can't read minds either, so if she wanted him to carry the bag, she should have spoke up in that moment. But I get where she's coming from. A gentleman will do it without you having to ask. And look, I'm very much split and complicated in this way because I have a mix of traditional and modern values. Men should carry the bags. I'm not taking out the trash if I'm in the household with a man. I'm not opening up my own door. But I'm also going to work and dress the way that I want to. So I get that duality. It's like, can I do all of those things? Absolutely. But why would I do it if there's a man present? Is that gonna get me roasted with the super strong women of YouTube? Please don't let it. And at the end of the day, if people don't agree on those values, they're gonna have a hard time. I'm not saying that it is a deal breaker, but it is gonna have a cloud over your relationship because you're gonna want this person to do these things that you never told them you wanted them to do. And it's gonna start to create resentment because you're like, why aren't you just doing it? Even though you never said it. And they are oblivious to the fact that you wanted them to do it. Speaking from experience. And it's already kind of happening. She isn't being physically affectionate with him, and he's like, being passive aggressive about the bags and saying there's nothing wrong. So I already see it kind of tampering their relationship. On a way less important note, do y'all know how tall he is? She said that she's 5 foot. I like tall guys, and I'm 4'9", and I guess I never realized how silly I look standing next to a really tall guy, but they look ridiculous. She looks so small next to him, but I guess that's how I look standing next to tall guys too. Emily and Brennan might also be in trouble too. I already said I'm not rooting for them. I don't think that they're a good match. And after seeing these last 2 episodes, that still stands. She's like, yeah, I totally feel like a wife now that I have someone to call me wife. Which I don't even know what that means, because you don't even know what it's like to feel like a girlfriend. Is that harsh? I don't know. That's just the way I feel. I just find her being on this type of show beyond bizarre. As I've stated before, she has literally never been in a relationship. His family asked her what kind of wife she's gonna be, and she couldn't even answer because she don't even know what kind of girlfriend she is. Someone did point out on my previous video, thank you for commenting by the way, saying that in the old-timey days, relationships kind of worked that way. You would meet someone, one person, be with them, and then marry them. But even in that scenario, unless you're in an arranged marriage, there would be courtship. You would still date them. You would still learn what they're like in a relationship before the marriage. It wasn't just you meet, you get married, you're done. And she just doesn't have any of that experience, so it's throwing me off. I don't know. I can't help but feel thrown off by it. Her friend said that there's never been anyone that's good enough for her, which, okay, I get that. Your friend's gonna stand up for you as they should. But that could also be code for she's the problem and won't admit it because she is the common denominator. I also feel like she's just marriage obsessed. On top of that, she's 29, so she's feeling that, oh, I gotta do it before 30 pressure.
You're 30.
29.
And then her dad said she has been a bride for Halloween several times. She's literally obsessed with being married. And then he's really concerning because he's obsessed with the idea of being married forever and the fact that his parents stayed together. It's almost like he's more focused on the idea of a forever marriage than he is focused on the idea of having a partner who's loving and makes him happy. I feel like he would stay miserable in a marriage just to say that it lasted forever rather than be happy and single or happy and moving on. And I just think that's a weird flex in my opinion. One of his friends said that most of his relationships have ended based on bad communication. The other person was a bad texter, situations like that. Meanwhile, he's married to a woman who's literally never had to communicate with anybody. What the hell is going on? Her family said that she likes to work a lot and her career is essentially her first husband. She's married to her career. And his family said that he gets in the mood if he doesn't get his way. What's going to happen when neither of them are willing to compromise? I think we all know what's going to happen. I think that this guy understood it best.
Words can only do so much. It's going to be about how, once they get to the real world, how this is actually going to play out.
I really like Orion and Lauren together. They were talking about culture during their first dance, and I believe that that's something that's going to keep them grounded in their marriage because both of them feel really strongly about their individual cultures. And I like that Orion was able to incorporate his culture into his wedding because I know that was important to him. And Lauren was really receptive of it. The elephant in the room, he still lives with his mom, which, look, shit is expensive, okay? I think at 20, I probably would have judged him for that. But as a full-grown adult who has bills and is out here living in this expensive-ass world, I get it. And I agree with Lauren. So long as you are using that time appropriately and saving and, bettering yourself and not just bumming it on the couch every day, then more power to you. And it sounds like he's doing the former. Now, her dad is a bit much. How do you know that Lauren doesn't feel comfortable with living in 2 different states? Why was he pressing Orion when he was literally married for about 45 seconds? I didn't like that. I don't like when dads play that tough dad role when it's unwarranted. Like, yeah, if he does something to your daughter, get real tough on his ass. But he didn't do anything. Let's chill. That being said, I do have to give Orion a tiny little red flag because I wonder if he is going to take any little bit of input that Lauren gives him, even if it's not in a negative way, as her trying to boss him around. He comes from a matriarchy and he dislikes it so much that it's kept him from dating women within his culture. So I feel like it's a really big trigger for him, and he might end up projecting that on Lauren when she's like, no, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. He might feel like it's bossy. So I think her delivery is going to be important, but also he's going to have to be receptive to someone else having input on things that he does. I love that on night 1, she made him put on that bonnet. I have only ever dated guys outside of my race, and I've always found it, mostly white guys, and I've always found it really weird, like, when do I introduce the bonnet, and she did it right away, got it out the way, so shout out to her. He joined the bonnet team, and it's Team Bonnet up in here, and I love to see it. During that lunch, Lauren's friend brought up the fact that Lauren is a strong, independent black woman, and I hated every minute of it. I really want black women to unsubscribe from that mindset. I used to subscribe to that mindset. I wasn't a strong black woman because I wanted to be. I was doing it out of necessity. Life and society and just things that went on in my life caused me to have to be a strong black woman. I also did an entire video essay on the strong black woman / soft black girl narrative. You can check it out right here on the top right of your screen. But yeah, I hate that for us. Black women do not have to be on all the time unless that's something that they want to be. If that's just your personality to be on all the time and be that strong black woman, then do you. But if you're only doing it because you feel like that's your only option, let that go. You don't have to be that way. I don't want to get on my soapbox even though I am, so let's move on. Austin and Becca, their chemistry is great. I really love that for them. I do wonder if her bubbly personality is going to end up being a bit too much for him eventually, but right now I love it. When our friends were talking about physical touch, you could tell that he got visually uncomfortable, and he even said, like, I'm not into that. So I do think that is going to be a bit of a struggle for them because clearly her love language is physical touch and his is absolutely not. But they have a lot in common. She keeps saying she feels like she made it herself, and I feel that way too. It's like the experts did a perfect match on them. They are great in that aspect. They share a lot of the same interests. So I think as they grow in that more, Austin is going to be able to lean into that physical touch, but he's definitely not there right now. On an unrelated note, Becca uses the word like way too damn much. I almost had to skip that part when she was talking to his friends at the reception because she kept saying like over and over and over again. And I get that people use that as a filler word or when they're trying to find their words. And I do have to cut some likes out of my videos, but damn, she was using it back to back to back. I just couldn't stand it. It was so annoying.
I am also very direct, so like to be with another direct person is really nice. Like I'm never like unkind or like mean about it, but like I don't really have a filter to be able to say, like, I never get like passive aggressive or like anything like that. Like,
I wonder if that's what I sound like when I use the word like a lot. She also tells Austin about her endo as well as her autoimmune disorder. I don't struggle with endo, but I do have women who are friends and family who struggle with endo, struggle with endo, and I know 2 people personally who have actually just had to have surgery for it. It's tough, it's not a joke, it can have you having some really low days, and oftentimes it goes undiagnosed for a lot of women, so they end up just suffering for years. So I'm really happy that she has a diagnosis. I hope Austin will be, and I think Austin will be there to support her through those painful days, as well as her chronic pain. I like that they invited Michael to the honeymoon. I almost wish he would have gone and lived it up just in spite of that mystery woman. I'm sorry. She sucks. He's amazing. I said what I said. This season is off to a great start. Shout out again to Dora for suggesting that I cover this show because it was definitely not even on my radar. I am all caught up now, so I will have my video up on episode 5 by tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. If you want to keep in touch until then, feel free to subscribe to my channel if that is your thing. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Y'all, I'm about to be so damn busy today. I have literally 3 different shows that I'm covering tonight, and I need to go edit this and stop talking to y'all because if I don't start right now, then none of this is even gonna get done. Okay, bye. See you later. Bye. You are about to hear my thoughts on these episodes. You are about to hear, not the desk. There is. I don't want to mess up my lip gloss, but there's definitely like lint on my lips. Okay, whatever. Voice how he. I believe in lug languages. But that could also be code for the elephant in the room. He still live. I actually did an entire video SO where they're trying to like find their. I just did it. So I like that they invite.
Better at Coachella, I went to see Chica. She with the CC trip. Perfect. I took a seat on the ice, cold on. She handed me an ice blue bong. Whatever.